Well, all right, let me get comfortable in the chair. What we have here is a laptop, an old laptop, a really old laptop that I have had for many, many years, and I don't use it anymore. I just don't use it. So what I'm going to be doing, let's turn this thing around so you can see. It's a laptop. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make a video. I don't know how far I can go with this, but I'm going to make a video on how to disassemble this thing. Not that anybody's ever going to take it apart. I'm just going to, not even how to disassemble, I'm just going to take it apart piece by piece. I don't know how many days it's going to take me to do, how many hours. I have no idea how long this video is going to go for. I might turn the video off and just say I'm going to post it, and I don't really care. So, got some screwdrivers. I have some torque screw, a torque set, and it's just all going to go in the garbage can. Probably going to go in a landfill, which you're not supposed to do, I know. So I really don't know how to take this thing apart, but I'm just going to... Oh, wow, okay, so there we go. Like, you can't see that on the video, which is not good, but I'm just going to snap... I'm just pulling off the front of this thing right now, and I'm just really surprised I'm pulling off the front, and it's coming apart. Pretty weird. Okay, so I am, this is the monitor, and I know I could donate this. I'm just going to take the whole thing apart, and then I'm going to, no, I'm not going to put it in the garbage because that is not, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to pay the state $8 when you buy this stuff. I don't know if that law was applicable when I got this thing. You pay the state $8 for recycling. And then they want you to recycle it. So why am I paying the $8? So I've got the front frame out and this plastic thing. Oh, okay, so I see over here, there are two little holes over here. There's a little cover over here. Maybe I'm going to pop this thing out and see if there's some screws in here, and I will be back. Okay, I've got a pointing tool here. It looks like this might be a cover, a little cap. So I'm going to ruin the, well, yeah, okay, it was. A little cap. If you were trying to do a repair, you probably would not want to do the damage that I did. And right underneath there is a screw. So we've got one on the other side that I'm going to take off, and then I'm going, ooh, it's a little sticky. I'm going to take one off on the other side, and then if you're going to use one of these pointer tools, be really careful. You do not want to pop your finger. Put that thing in your finger. So I'm taking off the screw over here, and this video is going to be so long. And if you were replacing, what am I trying to say? I did a video on how to replace a laptop monitor, but I never posted it. So I'm going to take off the two screws on the front, and if you are going to ever replace your monitor, then you just want to be really careful removing these little caps on the right in front of the keyboard area so that you don't damage, and you don't want to bend the frame either. Normally these things are jammed right down into here. This plastic is kind of hard to get out of the hinged area, but in this case it just popped right off. And that is what's going on with this guy. We're going to take this little front cover off, and now let me see if I can get a better view of this thing for you. So we got the front cover off right now. And we've got some screws going around the whole frame. So I'm going to take out the screws and I'm going to remove the monitor. Okay, what do we have here? We've got, where did I just put the screwdriver? So usually you just have, you can't always do this with laptops. A lot of laptops you have to literally tear the thing completely apart to change a monitor out. And it looks like on this one, I'm only going to have to take out maybe 4 screws, and I believe the whole monitor is going to pop out. Oh, don't want to drop that screw. I'll get that in a minute. I told you this video is going to be really long. We got 2 screws on the bottom, 2 screws on the top, and I think this thing is just going to pop out. Might have some cabling. If it does, I'll go get a set of wire cutters and just cut it out and throw it away. Not in the landfill though, because that is not what we're supposed to do. So I won't be throwing it away. I will be taking it to the approved reclamation area. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we've already got the thing popping out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It just popped right out. It just folded right out. And there's a screw that I have to get that just fell in there. Okay, it's all going in the garbage can. So this is kind of what we have inside the case right now. We've got some cabling, got the static strap, maybe some wiring that goes to the who knows what on the inside of the case. So, and then normally when you buy a new monitor, you remove all of this stuff that's over here and you replace the new monitor and connect all this stuff back in the front with the, back in the front, interesting set of words there. You would disconnect this stuff and then connect all your cables back. But we're not going to be doing that because this is going into the not the landfill. I'm just tearing this whole thing off right now. This is going to go in the garbage can. I mean in the container so that I can. All right, that's disconnected. That's good. So we're making progress here. We can see how this thing is attached to the bottom part of the keyboard area. Normally, not always, but a lot of times, after you get the monitor removed, you've got the keyboard area, you've got something up at the front that you might be able to, I don't know if this case is solid or if this will pop off so that I can get in here and remove a screw in the front to get this keyboard the monitor out of the way. I don't know. So, I've got some screwdrivers I don't care about, in case I want to get in there and do some prying. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to start removing screws on the bottom of this. This has a battery in it, and you definitely don't want those to go into landfill. So you have to take that to the proper place to properly, safely dispose of that. So this has got a whole bunch of screws on it. Why don't I feel a screw over there? No screw. Okay, so we got screws on the corner here. That might be something different type of screw, or it might just be no screw. I probably should disconnect the battery out of this thing. I'm going to have to do that anyway, because I'm sure there are screws inside the case. What is this? Is this the memory, or is this the battery, or? Why does it not want it open? Oh, maybe the battery's in here. Maybe that's the hard drive. I don't know. You have any screws in here? Yes. Hey, so if you like my video, if you like what I do here, please do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like. I got a bunch of cool stuff on here, from piano playing, which I can't do, to guitar playing and guitar reviews, lots of product reviews, and do I have any other screws in here? I don't know. probably gonna run on a battery power. I charged this thing up, but it's an old battery. And of course I bought new batteries, but I'm pretty busy. No time to try out the new batteries. Why is that not coming apart? So I think we've got 2 screws that need to drop out of here. 1, 2 in the garbage. And I know that this thing pops open somehow. I just don't remember how. Oh boy. Okay, that shows locked. That's unlocked. So something is unlocked now. I think this is the battery. I can't remember. Okay, all the screws out are out on here. So this says hard drive. Hard drive. I got a bunch of videos on. These are always good batteries to save. This thing's so old I don't even. In fact, every time I boot it up, I don't think it saves the time. So you should never put a battery in the landfill. You should dispose of them properly. Okay, so just broke off that holder. So that goes in the trash can. I mean, in the can for the recycling. So now we've got the hard drive over here, and it looks like we have, what do we have here? Got some memory. Memory, normally, when you're changing out your memory, you pull out these little things over here, and you should be able to take your memory. This thing's so old, you can't even use memory like this. Maybe I could sell it online, but it's not worth it. So you do not want to throw this in the landfill. It has electronic stuff in there, so that goes in the container for the proper disposal. Yes. Removing those levers, latches again. Memory. How much memory is this thing? Does it even say? Memory, 2 gigabyte, 4 gigabyte, 4 gigabyte for Windows. And I think this originally had XP, and I believe I put in a, I paid. That's it. I paid to upgrade it to Windows 7. I think I put Windows 7 on here. I mean, I think I paid to put Windows 7 on here. So we have removed the memory. We've got the hard drive over here. What holds the hard drive on here? Usually there's a latch or something that will let this go up. I don't know. Yeah, that's the hard drive. I don't know where the lever is, the lever is. There's something over here that should allow this to pop up. Should allow it to unplug somehow. No time for that. We've got to get this case open. Now it's kind of weird. There's a screw over here, but there's no screw over there, but there are holes for that. So I don't know if I did. No, I don't think I ever opened this up. So maybe when they put it together, they decided to screw me out of a screw. Does this pop up? This has got to pop up somehow. Oh, okay, that was not the right way to take out the hard drive. This thing pops up somehow. There's got to be... I don't know. Some screws on the side, but usually there's something that slides up, that pops up. Oh, I see it connects over there, so let's continue. So I think the battery is over here. Okay, do not put this in the garbage can. That is just not right to do. This should not go in the landfill. It's a lithium-ion battery. Really not good for environment. And there should be some other screws over here that I could undo, maybe, to open this case up. I see some little screws over here. Might need a different screwdriver. And this should allow the cabinet, the case to open up, I think. You can put a screw in the landfill. And I really need my tweezers right now. I don't know why I didn't bring them in here. Okay, 2 screws. Sometimes, well, most of the time, I'm really big on zooming in, but I can't zoom in. This video will take twice as long to do. And, you know, why I'm not going to do it? Because if you look at the statistics for YouTube videos, the average video is watched for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. So, why bother, right? All right, the monitor's still not coming apart. I don't see any other screws in here. And I know that there are probably screws. Are there any screws underneath the label? No. There's probably something that is holding this case together. Let's try to pry it apart. That started to do something, but not enough. I probably have to get this hard drive out of here before I can separate the case. It wants to separate, but then it doesn't want to separate. Let's see, let me get these tools out of the way. This should come out. Oh, something's coming apart. What is holding this in here? Well, I just kind of broke it apart, so got that apart. I need to get some wire cutters. I'm just on a mission right now with cleaning. I have so much stuff in my place, so much clutter, and it's not just the clutter. I have stuff from high school reunions and just so much junk. And you know, when you, it doesn't really matter when you're not on the earth anymore. Somebody else takes care of that stuff. Not that I'm planning on leaving now, but when we've got that stuff, when we have things, we just save them. When somebody's gone, you look at all the stuff that they have or had, and you wonder, why did they keep all this? Well, if you talk to people, a lot of people don't want to get rid of the stuff they have. I don't know if they're holding on or if they're busy with life. Well, I'm busy with life too, but I'm just looking at all this junk that I've saved, that I've collected. I'm thinking, what in the world do I have this stuff for? How did I get it? Well, oh, it just came apart. So that's the back of the, that's the top of the unit now, going in the, not in the trash, because you don't want to put plastic in the landfill. That wouldn't be right. So now we have the, the monitor over here. And I've just got so much junk, and I'm thinking, what in the world is going on here? Why do I have all of this? And I'm trying to, maybe I can get this monitor out of here somehow. Usually the front of these things, usually the front of the stuff is a cover or something that pops off. Maybe the top frame pops off so that you can get to the, sometimes it's even just a glued on piece of trim. I'm looking at all this junk I've got. I'm thinking, what in the world? How did I collect all this stuff? And why do, oh, CD drive. Wow, that thing just popped right out. Okay, obviously it just snaps in, plugs into the connector over there. And I don't want to put this in the landfill. This is electronic stuff, so that goes in the container that's going to go in the recycling area, yes. Okay, are we able to disconnect the, oh, there we go. Now it's starting to disconnect. Wow, this whole thing's just snapping apart. It's a little easier than, ow! Ooh, that hurt. Okay, so it snaps together. They didn't want to use screws, it snaps together. Oh, it did snap together. Not all of it snaps together, some of it snaps together. Okay, I don't want this stuff to go flying across the room and hurt me or the dog, so I gotta figure this out. So I'm just trying to get rid of stuff, and I've had this laptop forever, and when I bought it, I thought, well, it wasn't that expensive at the time, and I was happy I needed it. I thought I needed it, and I didn't really, I used it a little bit. I got my money's worth, and then it's just sat there forever, and I, again, don't know if it's got XP on there, or if I ended up putting Windows 7 on there, but this thing is just, first off, I don't need it, I don't use it, it just sits there, and not only does it just sit there, but I didn't realize it when I bought it, but when I bought it, I'm like, whoa, this thing takes forever to boot up. This is a really old machine. I don't know why this isn't disconnecting. This is a real old machine, but it just takes probably 8 minutes, 10 minutes to boot up, and there's nothing on here. So let me turn this off and I'll figure out how to get the rest of this open. Alrighty, we've got about half of this is coming off and the rest of it is stuck. And I don't know what is holding this on. I have no clue. I can probably go online and maybe somebody's got a video on how to take this thing apart besides me. But let me go look for some more screws on here. I feel like a fool. There's a screw right over here. Okay, boy, that's why this isn't coming apart. This is just going to pop open right now. Let's just watch this pop open. Screw in the trash bin, recycle bin, whatever that is. Okay, is this going to pop open now? I don't even know which side that's on. There are probably some more screws that I have to take out. I know I need to get this hard drive out somehow. Very uncomfortable in this chair. Got the camera backwards. See if I can get these screws out of here. Get this bracket up somehow. This is not the way to do it, but this thing's going in the garbage right now, so. Yeah, I got a few videos, I think, that I posted on how to take a hard drive apart. Okay. Oh, I broke the bracket. Now I can get this thing out. That's going in the recycle, I mean in the tray, in the trash bin, whatever it's going in. Alright, let me get that screw out of here so it doesn't fall on the floor. I don't want the dog to eat this. I took the dog for W. She's right next to me. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I was looking, you always look to see what comes out. And a blue thing like a bag came out. Okay, this is not good. Plastic, if dog eats plastic. Okay, this should just pull. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. It just slid right out. Unbelievable. Okay, how big is this thing? 320 gigabyte, wow. You know, that's really big until you realize that used to be big. Nowadays you need 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte because of the size of videos that we're doing, and this YouTube video is going to be this is going to be massive. Plastic's coming apart all over. So, yeah, it was some piece of plastic, and I was really worried because it either plugs them up and they need surgery, or it comes out. Do we have any screws over here? Oh, there's a screw over there. What is this? I don't even know if I need to remove that screw. So I gave her a diet of, I don't think I need to. Gave her a diet of green beans and carrots to get things moving, and it worked. Okay, we're getting closer. We're definitely getting closer. Something's still holding this part on here. I don't know what. I wonder if there is a screw underneath this. There shouldn't be, but maybe there's a screw underneath the leg. Oh! Okay, there is a, underneath the leg, there is a, another one of those. Okay, where's that little probe thing that I had here a minute ago? Where did I put that? You want a little pointing tool? I don't know if anything's underneath here, but sometimes they put screws underneath, and there's a little rubber piece under here. There's got to be something that's holding this thing together. Is that going to come apart? I don't know if that's a cover or what it is. Oh boy. Okay, I put the pointer through on this one. I don't know if there's a screw underneath here. And I kind of broke the plastic. There's probably nothing in there. Maybe that's just a hole for when they were making the case. Doesn't look like there's a screw in there. It looks like there's a screw on the other side. So let's go back and open this thing up again. This video is just going to be humongous. I'd love to get this monitor out of the way. That's the important thing to me. Get this thing out of here. And I cannot get the monitor out, and I also can't get the case open. And I think the two of them are connected together. What I'm going to do is, I should have a long-handled screwdriver, but I don't, so I'm going to go put a handle on this thing and see if I can do some prying. Unbelievable. Something is holding this on, and I don't like it. Okay, let's see if I can remove the switch. The switch cover. Maybe we'll break it. I have any battery left on this video? This is nuts. And when I do this stuff, I wonder why every single laptop is made differently, even from the same company. Why do they assemble them differently? Just like with cars, why don't they just have the same parts in cars? And why do they need to upgrade these every single year? It just makes no sense. If you had a car and you perfected it, you wouldn't need to change anything. I see any things? Oh! Okay, I just broke something off over there. It's going to go in the there's something related to all of this. I just don't know what's holding this stuff together. All the screws. Oh! I feel like a total idiot. I cannot believe this! I thought I found all of these. This was right in plain sight. How could I miss this? Oh boy, it's going to come apart right now. And I'm going to look like a more, maybe others. That's right by the, is there another one? No, I took it out off of this one. This is going to come apart now. Been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to pop this thing open. Okay, it's still stuck, but we're getting closer. Oh boy. Let's turn this around and see if I can bend this and get it to pop out, get it to angle out. Because these normally just come right out very easily. What's holding this thing in? This should just come right out. Okay, so I'm kind of not thinking clearly here. We probably have a screw on the side. It's holding the bracket on. I want to get this monitor out of the way. You don't want to put it in a landfill. All that electronic stuff over there. You got to save the earth and the environment. So, okay. Oh, there we go. Screw goes in the trash can over there. So I have 3 more of these on the side, 3 more screws. And that is how you would replace your monitor if you were going to replace a monitor. Oh, the monitor just fell forward. Clump. What time is it? Almost 11 o'clock. All right, neighbors won't get mad. I'm pretty quiet. Okay, so all the screws are out. Monitor should just come right out now. And there it is. There's the monitor. So that goes in the not in the trash can. You don't want to put the stuff in the landfill. All right, in the trash can. So now we've just got these brackets left, and this thing should really pop open. I have no idea why it's not popping open. Kind of upsetting me a little bit. Not upsetting me. I don't get upset. But it should, well, I don't believe it. I just pressed on this thing and something just disconnected. Okay, so it's all press fit. It is, yikes. Little piece of plastic. We'll put that in the trash can. We're almost there. We are almost, this is probably, ow! Probably just all held together, snapped together. Ow, man, I'm going to cut my finger. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, so we are very close. Do I have any screws under here? I don't feel anything. I feel nothing over here. This should, you would think this would pop up. It goes all the way over to here and then it stops. Okay, there's nothing holding the mouse pad, the mouse thing in together. Can I get this out of here? Not that I need to, but we're almost apart. It just snapped again. Every time I turn this thing around a little bit, another piece snaps open. So it is all assembled by, just bend it. It's all assembled like press fit. I don't know. So how far along are we? It just popped again. Okay, half of this thing is separated. It's more, okay, it's just cracking apart. That's what's going on here. I'm just cracking. The plastic's popping all over because I cannot figure out how to open this thing up. Ridiculous. Ow. Not only ridiculous now, but dangerous. Really dangerous. And parts are flying everywhere. Oh! I just put pressure on there and that came out. So that will go in the trash can, the landfill. And this should just pop out like the other one, right? Okay, at least I've got the battery out so I can't short anything out or cause a fire. I don't think the caps are charged up, so we're okay with that. Plastic is flying all over, but it's staying on the table. And we're really close to being done. I'd love to get this bracket off of here, but I can't. And something is holding this on, which tells me there is another screw on the bottom here somewhere. But I'm not, God, this thing was like half a pound. It's so light. Oh, I just got a message. Is anything underneath here? Any screws under the static tape? I don't feel anything. I don't feel any screws under there. I don't see any screws. Oh, that was not good. Dog is being very patient. She doesn't like when I do stuff like this. I don't know why it's being held together. I don't see it. This is an unlock lever, but that was for the battery. I don't feel anything under there. I'll be back. I don't want to waste all this time. Okay, I just got another snap out of it. I'm thinking maybe the keyboard is being held in here, and so I just need to start removing plastic around the keyboard, but maybe not, because now it's not coming out. Before, it was coming out. I just have to break it apart. Oh boy, neighbor's definitely saying, what the hell is he doing in there? So something's holding it in the middle. Something's holding it on the end of there. What in the world is holding this? I don't see any screws over here. It's probably 95% loose, except right around here. Now the keyboard's starting to pop up a little bit. This just makes no sense at all. I really don't want to piss off the neighbors. Ow, my finger's jammed in here. Oh. Okay, maybe I don't want to tear each switch apart because there's a little spring in there, and there are these things here, and that's just going to make a big mess that I don't want to deal with. And then you don't want to put this in the landfill. That's plastic and a spring. So something's holding this keyboard in. My problem here is I don't know if the keyboard is, yeah, the keyboard is definitely part of the case, because it's not breaking loose. So we just have to break something loose right around the front. I'm looking inside right now and I don't see what's holding it on. There's nothing on the bottom. I'm going to do one more inspection. No screws, no screws, no screws, no screws, no screws in there. This is M2X3. Those are the size of the screws, and there are no screws in there. Oh, I thought I just saw a screw. Looking on the side. It says Windows 7 over there, so it did have Windows 7. So I guess it was probably when Windows 7 first came out. But again, I don't use it. And there's really no reason to keep stuff now that I don't need, that I don't use. So I'm really just trying to get all of the stuff, all the clutter out of my life. And the other thing, like I said, is it just took forever to boot up. I know once it's booted up, but it's not only forever to boot up. It was so slow. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than sit here and mess with this all night, because it's just being held in one area, is, and I don't want to make too much noise for the neighbors, I'm going to mess around with this a little bit, but I believe I will just continue this tomorrow morning when I can finish off the video. Okay, I'm going to try to pop this keyboard out. I'm trying to push the keyboard in and it's not working, so I think I need to get access underneath here. I don't know. So let's see if I can get this thing out through the front. It started and I don't know if this is going to work. This might be a big waste of time. Oh! Oh, well, check that out. Okay. Yikes. Will this disconnect? Some wire cutters. Oh, maybe I can just pull this out of this connector here. Oh, broke off. All right, well, that was neat. Electronics, you definitely don't want to throw those in the garbage. When was this manufactured? Intel, it's all in Chinese. Revision 1. In the can. Okay, that's unbelievable. There's got to be... There you go. All right, so I was spinning my wheels. There are some screws over here. I knew there was something holding this thing on, but I would think the keyboard would go in the other direction, not pop out. Here we go. This is just all going to come apart in a minute, and then I can put this in the trash can. So it does. I mean, in the recycle thing. Wow, that was pretty neat. Okay, so 3 screws. Is this what's been causing all my problems? 4 screws. This thing should all just pop apart. It better. I can't spend the whole night on. Oh, another screw. Another screw over here. I knew something was holding this on because it was all on one side. Or am I missing a screw? Oh, there's another screw. This is 5L. Okay. Are we done yet? Are we done? Nope, another screw. All the stuff is going in the can. There's gotta be, oh, here we go. Here we go. So that's what was taking forever. It's still being held by something. It's being held by cables, I think. Ooh, yikes. Made a lot of noise. I'm glad this is almost done because it's just way too late. I'm not going to need that screwdriver anymore, I don't think. Are we done? Let's pull that cable out. There it is. Here's the laptop. Cut the wire. Put this in the recycle bin. Take it to the special landfill. There's a nice little fan over there. And the circuit board. It's the fan and oh boy. So there we go. Where's the CPU? Maybe on the other side? I don't know. Oh, there it is over there. Yay. Okay, so I think. So there it is. That's my video that took forever on how to take this laptop apart. If I had to put this back together to use it, I couldn't because I cut everything up and cracked everything totally apart. But hey, it's always interesting to watch somebody take something apart. Maybe entertaining, maybe boring. So this is going to go in the can, and then I'm going to put that screwdriver over there, and this screwdriver over here, and the pointer over there. And so all that I have left to do tomorrow is to take this hard drive, which has some data, not a lot of data. I think it's got some passwords and that I want to definitely wipe. So I'm just going to destroy the drive, take out the platter, break it in half, and that's probably about all. Usually these are held together with Torx screws. This thing is so tiny. Yikes. It's so small. Let's get this bracket off of here. Bracket that I couldn't get off before. Let's take off that one screw. Oh! When you do stuff like this, I know most of us, you can go to the store and you can buy cheap tools, but when you do stuff like this, sometimes it makes a lot of sense to go out and spend a big chunk of money on a little set of tools that you're going to be able to use forever to do the things that you need to do. until you can't do them anymore, even though it might be expensive. I have a Torx thing here. What do I have? T4, T6, T5? No, not T4. T5? Oh boy, is that tight. And these are little screws. You don't want to put this in the landfill. So normally you just have a whole bunch of screws, and then there are some screws that are hidden behind the labels. There's usually at least one, sometimes two. And yeah, you can wipe the hard drive. There's no doubt you can wipe a hard drive. It's done all the time, but for me, you take the hard drive out, you take it apart, you take the platter out of there, and what I have found, okay, we get this little sticker over here. It feels like there's probably a screw behind the sticker. What I have found is that after you, and there's normally one in here. There's usually a big indent in here, at least on the regular drives. Maybe they're just up here on the laptop drives. Okay, so there's one underneath there. Let's see if there's one underneath here. Always point your tools away from you when you're doing prying. So we've got two screws that have to come out over here, and maybe some others underneath the label. So for me, after I take these things apart, wear eye protection and just get a reciprocating saw, and you can cut these things in half. Takes no time at all. You can cut. What I do is I cut them into quarters, and then I throw them out. Nobody's going to be able to recover your data and get all your passwords and all your important documents. So, is it coming apart, or is it not going to come apart? Feels like there's another one right in here. And when you watch my videos, I don't think anybody's gotten to this far, but maybe they have. You just have to experiment. That's an indent over there. Is there a screw in there? You just experiment, you go slow, you take your time, you break things apart, you learn. I think there's a screw in there. Be nice to be able to get this label off of here. Oh boy, good. There's the screw that I'm looking for. Ooh, that adhesive does not smell too good. Okay, so we've got this one last one over here, I believe, unless there's another one under this sticker, and we'll find out. In the trash, not coming up. That screw's done. There's got to be one more underneath here. Wow, there are a lot of screws under here for a little drive. Now the cover should pop up. Screw in the trash can. Going to be able to pop this loose? Oh, come on. I don't see any other screws. Am I missing stuff? I've missed so many other screws tonight. Let's get the screwdriver out that I was using before. Let's see if we can do a pry. Alright, so we've got the cover off, and this is like all the other hard drives. Usually you just have, you have to take off a screw here. Sometimes you have to take off some of the screws in here to get this, the platter out, the writing head out of the way. Take the screw out in the middle. Can I get the writing platter out of the way? I mean, the writing head out of the way. You get the writing head out of the way. Maybe the platter will fall out. There we go. Get the platter over there underneath my hands. Got a bunch of stuff in here, so I don't want the reflection shining off all over the place. So get that out of the way. There's nothing else in the drive. Sometimes you have 2 of these or 3 platters. So that's the hard drive. And you don't want to throw this in the trash. You want to put that in the recycling bin. Clunk trash. And let's get some of this stuff cleaned up over here. So get that out of the way and get the pointer out of the way and get the cutters out of the way. And so what we do now is you always want to have a nice clean workstation. Oh my God, that trash can, not trash can, recycling bin is very heavy, and it's all this laptop all in pieces. It feels much heavier. It gives you an idea of the dirt that was in that thing. And there it is, people, sitting in the recycling trash can. That is a laptop. At the time, that was probably $400, $500, and the garbage will not be missed. I'll take the platter, I'll break it in half, cut it up, and that is how you take apart, disassemble, destroy a laptop. Make sure you do a thumbs up, a subscribe, or a like. Likes. Don't do dislikes. Do a like. If you have a product you want me to do a review on, if I can get a hold of it, I will do that. If you want to donate to my channel to help me out, that would be awesome. Ask for my PayPal info. And make sure you watch all my other videos. There's some cool stuff on there. That's a lot better than what I just did here.